weekend. So I am in jeans and a comfy shirt that looks fancy on Zoom, but is just like a sheen cotton, like I'm sure it came from China, 100%.
It's the illusion that counts.
It's the illusion. Yes. I'm in denim. See, I'm in denim. So, which
I love it.
They're stretchy denim. I wear them. They're denim.
Hang on, baby, 1 second, okay? Okay, y'all, this is our, just so you know, we started these jewel calls months ago, and they're every Friday at noon, 12:30. But we are pivoting a little this week because we wanted Emily's time, and this is the time she could do it. But we've got all of our rubies and senior rubies on for the first time, which I'm super pumped about because you guys are all planning for Emerald in the next few months. And so anyway, Emily does not need an introduction. She earns all the trips. She's still in action. She's doing all the coaching. She is still adding to her team. And that's why we trust her to coach y'all. So Emily, let's go.
I'm so excited to be here with you guys. When Jordan told me that the only time that you guys could do it was like earlier, I was like, I only have 1 hour that I could do it and I want to do it so badly. So I'm just so excited that you guys were flexible to allow me to do this because I've been looking forward to this all week long. So developing emeralds is literally the easiest thing on the planet. Did you know this? It is so easy to create an emerald. So easy. I believe that with everything inside of me. And I can give you example after example after example and evidence and evidence and evidence that it's true. And that is why I create emeralds 4 to 5 times a year personally on my team. And the reason why you are not is because you're looking at me like I'm crazy for believing it. So, good news. The only difference between where you are and where I am is our thoughts. That's it. What you think about it is different than what I think about it. Now, if it was as easy as just like swapping our thoughts and just believing and just starting to say, oh yeah, emeralds are easy, then I would be out of a job. Because it's not that easy, right? Our brains are so smart. You have the most highly evolved brain that has ever lived on planet Earth. Doesn't matter what your IQ is. You have a prefrontal cortex, that's your higher brain. It's the most evolved brain that's ever lived on the planet in the history of all histories that we have history of. Right? We also have our lower brain. That's our primitive brain. And it's what I like to call our caveman brain. It's the part of our brain that is not evolved. It's also the part of our brain that makes it really easy to do things without thinking about it. Because our higher brain, our prefrontal cortex, it is what thinks about its own thinking. It's what decides tomorrow, when we say tomorrow, I'm going to work out. Tomorrow, I'm going to exercise. At the end of this month, I'm going to rank up. At the end of this month, I'm going to grow by 100 points. That's your prefrontal. And then your lower brain is like, you can't do it. There's no way. It's too many points. We're too far behind. It's already the 18th. We haven't had enough new people. All my team is not working. Everything's dead. That's your lower brain. And it gets a bad rap, right? Like people are like, oh my gosh, like I have a team member who sent me this and I think it's so hilarious. Dear brain, please shut up, right? And the lower brain, it gets a bad rap because you're like, gosh, it's always like talking me out of my goals. It's always putting me down. It's telling me like my stomach's not flat enough, or it's telling me like you're not smart. But the lower brain does amazing things. The lower brain is what makes you efficient because your prefrontal is constantly wanting to download things. It's like your lower brain is your personal assistant. I want you to think of your lower brain as your virtual assistant for free. It just operates there all day for you. It's constantly taking things from the prefrontal. The prefrontal is constantly passing it tasks to do that are easy, right? So it's like when you wash your hair, do you have to think about how to wash your hair? You just get in the shower and you probably pour the shampoo in the same hand. I'm right-handed, but so I pour the shampoo into the left hand because my right hand has to squeeze, right? It's stronger. I don't even have to think about it. I just know that my right hand's going to grab the shampoo. I'm going to squeeze in the hand. I'm going to take a little bit up and then I'm going to start lathering here. And then I'm going to bring this hand up and we're going to get it going. I'm going to put my head in a little bit and we're going to keep going and we're going to get it all going. Da, 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 and then I wash it out. And then I grab the soap. And I'm doing the soap and I'm doing the soap and I'm doing the soap. Then I'm shaving my armpits. I don't even have to think about it. It's so memorized. Why is it memorized? Because my prefrontal has downloaded the tasks to my lower brain. It's making it efficient. It wants you to be as efficient as possible so that you can accomplish more. Except your prefrontal, sometimes it can chew off more than it can handle. You know what I'm talking about? Like in January where you're like, I'm going to be diamond in 60 days. And your brain's like, liar, right? Because your brain is so smart. Remember, you have the most advanced evolved brain on planet Earth, the prefrontal cortex. And because you have the prefrontal that thinks about its own thinking, and then you have the lower brain that's smart and efficient, tries to tell you what you can and cannot do. And it has this conversation back and forth all day, every day. When your prefrontal says, I have this big goal that I want to hit. If the prefrontal doesn't believe that it's possible, the lower brain knows and it will call you out on your crap every single time. It's why thought swapping doesn't work. It's why I can say emeralds are easy. Anyone can go emerald. If you're at 750 points or higher, you can be emerald in 60 days. I have so much evidence that this is true. And you have so much evidence that it's not true, which is why when I say it to you, your brain goes, I couldn't. I'm not her. It's not possible for me. And it's why when you just try to say to yourself, I am so grateful to be an emerald ambassador with Plexus. I'm never going to be it. It's why we can't just think positive thoughts because our brain is onto us and our lower brain knows when we're feeding it a load of poop. And it's going to say, it's when someone is telling you something and you're like, I'm not buying it. I don't believe it. Or when you're like, yeah, your upline is like, okay, what rank do you want to hit this month? And you're like, I'm gonna be emerald. Yeah, I'm gonna be emerald. And then your brain's like, no, we can't do it. We're never gonna do it. That's the lower brain, right? The prefrontal has like all these hopes and dreams. And then the lower brain is like, we're not buying it. We don't believe it. So this is where changing your thoughts is everything. I can tell you all the how-tos of how to get to emerald in 30 to 60 days, and I absolutely will today. But if you don't believe that it's possible with at least 80% belief, right? I like to give it an 8 out of 10. If you don't believe that it's possible, then your actions are never going to line up because your belief is not going to be there. We want to have more belief than doubt. It's okay to have a little bit of doubt. In everything I've ever gone for, any contest, and I'll share some funny stories with you about this. Every contest I've ever earned with Plexus, I always go into it with, I think I can do it, but it's probably not going to happen. Right? In fact, so the very first big contest, like I've earned everything you can earn for 6.5 years straight, right? Like there's been nothing I haven't earned, not a top earner trip, not a little prize, like 75 ear pods, multiple iPads, like the Garmin watch, the other watches, like the Nike shoes. Like I can sit and tell you I never forget any of it. And I can tell you everything that Plexus has offered for us to win for 6.5 years because I've gone after everything. Okay. So the biggest trip, the one that was most monumental in changing me as a person, was Musha Key. It was the very first private island, and it was announced at Super Saturday in January of 2017. I was a brand new Sapphire. I had just hit Sapphire on December 30th. And I was in Arizona. It was the first Super Saturday I'd ever been to. The previous year, I was a brand new person, just like thinking I might just want to get my products paid for. So this was the first Super Saturday I'd been to. And I was like, we got to go to Arizona. And so I brought 22 people from my team here in Utah. We all flew down, and from Texas and all over the place. California, we flew down, we met in Arizona. And Christy Jex, who's a diamond on my team now, she brought a disco ball in her luggage. And we turned off the lights in our hotel room. We had like a disco ball dance. And then I broke the disco ball on that trip. Anyway, there are just so many fun memories when you go places like this with your team, right? And so, yeah, such a Chandler move. Yes. Oh my gosh, I know. And so I remember sitting in Super Saturday, and I think it was Rhonda Shaw and maybe Erin O'Keefe. I can't remember, some blonde diamond. And they were presenting, and they were like, here's a video for you now. And I remember the room was silent, and like they did the promotional video for the Musha Key trip. And my first thought was, I'm never going to earn that. It's just for the diamonds. And I had just hit Sapphire. Like I was a brand new Sapphire. I'd been a Sapphire for like 6 days. Right. And then there's Brooke sitting next to me, and I'm like, well, she's for sure going to earn it. I'm not going to be able to keep up. Right. I had no belief that I could do it. And for the rest of that month, I was like, that's going to be so nice for all those like real diamonds, like Bridget and Celeste and Brooke, and like people that are like really good at their job. They're going to all get it, and I'm not going to get it. And I remember Brooke kept posting about like how they were daydreaming about being on the island. And I was like, well, of course she's going to do it. Of course, it's Brooke. She's going to do it. Right. And then at some point around the end of January, I was like, maybe I could do it, because I had swept the contest in the first 30 days. And so had Celeste, and so had Brooke, and so had Bridget. And I was like, I'm on pace with them. And it was like, in that moment, my brain was like, it's possible. And it was in that moment that I decided to run for it. And for the next 3 months, nobody signed up without a welcome pack. I never signed people up without welcome packs, but back then we didn't get points for rank ups, if you remember. And I was trying to rank diamond by April 30th, because I wanted to be on stage recognized as a diamond at convention. I didn't want to do it in May. I wanted to do it in April so that my name would be on all the stuff and I'd get to go on the stage, even though we all know I would have gone up on the stage anyway. Sometimes Alec, Tarl, and Travis, I'm like, I think they look at me and they're like, we can't control that one. So we'll just try to minimize the damage. Right. And they love me for it. And I love them for loving me for it. So at the end of April, when auto ships had processed, we needed 83 orders for diamond. And you couldn't just sign people up and get points. So we signed 83 orders with welcome packs and 100 PV on top of them in 48 hours. I hit diamond. I earned Musha Key as basically a Sapphire, right? And I was in the number 6 spot on that trip. The next year, I'm on a Super Saturday stage in North Carolina with Tara Castaneda. And they announce the second private island trip. And I remember calling Alec the night before when I found out that they were doing it, because it was like in our notes. They had like kept it a secret, and then somebody found out. I think Brooke found out, 'cause she was at home office, and Alex said something to her, and then she told the chat, and then we were all yelling at them, and you need to change this and you need to do this. And I'm like, these poor men. I would never want their job. And so I remember telling Alec on the phone, this will be nice for all those other girls that aren't, that like, I'm not going to be lucky twice. There's no way I'm going to earn it twice. Right. I didn't believe that I was going to be able to do it. I was like, oh, this just isn't set up. Like it's not set up in my favor this time. Right. I was number 3 on that private island the second year. And I worked half the effort. I didn't even work very hard for that trip. And the reason why I say that to you is because sometimes you have big growth when you're resting, and rest is so important. Rest is where we find strength. Working 24/7, killing ourselves, there's no amount of success that requires you to be exhausted. This is something that I have worked so hard for the last year to learn and to practice, because my old habits from Musha Key and going diamond in 18 months and winning everything, always, right, came up from scarcity. I was always worried that I wasn't going to keep up. I wasn't going to be enough. It wasn't going to be enough. I had to do it, right, to prove my worth. And so I've struggled for the last 8 months, especially. I went through life coach certification. I'm a certified life coach through the life coach school. Maybe you know the podcast, Brooke Castillo's The Life Coach School. That's where I'm certified through. It was $25,000. It was the best money I've ever spent in my whole life. And when over the last year, as I've learned to let go and interrupt the adrenaline rush, it has helped me to find a better way to build that doesn't require my exhaustion to achieve success. I just developed an emerald in 90 days. She started on November 12th. She hit emerald on January 31st. I have now taken the last 2 weeks pretty much off of my business. I just needed a break. I have a coaching community. I'm not doing, I did one promotional thing yesterday. I'm going to post about it. I'm going to send emails. That's it. I'm not doing anything else. I told my life coach, I was like, if I grow by 10 people this month, I'll be so thrilled. I wonder the least amount of people I can grow by. I'm so curious about what's going to come up when my numbers are low, because I'm resting. I want to rest. I want to rest. You can rest and you can grow. And what I want to be an example of to you, because I know it's true now, is that you can rest and grow more in a rest period than when you're killing yourself. I am on a mission to prove that it's possible, and I'm doing it right now. I have had more growth in my team personally and in my coaching community in the last 4 months, trying to slow everything down, than I ever had when I was trying to go as fast as possible so I would not lose everything. Can you relate to what I'm saying? A little bit. Sometimes this is a hard concept for network marketers. I know it's been a very hard concept for me, right? Because we're like, no, success loves speed. Momentum moves us. I know I said it. I'm sorry. I am denouncing it. Success loves consistency. And when you take energy, when you take action from an energy of confidence, empowerment, excitement, even nervousness and anxiety, right? We think of those as negative emotions. But when you take action from a place of nervousness and anxiety, you can create amazing things in your life. And life is always going to be 50-50. It's why when you do hit emerald, because I know every single person on this call is going to be an emerald, because why else would you be here? And if I can do it, you can do it. I didn't even have a planner when I hit emerald. I was like, maybe I should get a planner now. And I didn't have any systems. So it's going to be way easier for you to do it than it ever was for me, because you have more knowledge and you have way more organized leaders that are so much more calm, secure than I ever was. So it's going to be 50-50 either way. There's going to be 50% negative emotions the whole way to emerald, and once you achieve it and after you achieve it, and it's going to be 50% positive. It's why when you rank, there's going to be part of you that's going to be like, it's kind of weird. I was expecting it to feel a little bit differently. It's because the fun part of hitting emerald is all the points up until 1500. I just got chills. Did you? It's true. The funnest part about hitting emerald is all the orders getting there. It's the sip and sees. It's the failed Facebook event. It's the Zoom that only the team showed up to. It's the person that was going to sign up and they signed up and then they canceled before their stuff came. It's the person that took their products, had it work, wouldn't post, and got their money back so they could have an extra $400 for their kitchen remodel. True, actual thing that happened. I had a long conversation with Alec about how we cannot be returning products so easily to people. Right? It's all of that that is the point of getting there. That's the fun part. It's the hard. It's the disappointment. It's the failure. You need to fail bigger. It's the process of getting to 1500 points. That's the fun part. You think that 1500 is going to be fun. And that's why when you get there, because you will, you'll be disappointed. You'll be like, this is so fun. Also, it's kind of like anticlimactic. I don't know. It's like no one in the grocery store is looking at me like I'm an emerald. Why don't they know? Right? And so in this, it's so key for you to understand your humanness, that it's going to be 50-50. So just totally anticipate it. You're going to be a 50-50 leader. You're going to be a 50-50 human. 50% of the time, you're going to be an amazing leader. The other 50% of the time, you're going to suck. Right? You're looking at me and you're like, oh my gosh, Emily's so amazing. I can give you 5 people's names on my team right now that think I'm a horrible leader and I suck and I'm unethical or whatever it is, right? Like all the criticism. And then I have people on my team who are like, you're amazing. You're the best. Oh my gosh, I'm so lucky. I'm like, you just haven't been here long enough, right? Like you're not a Ruby yet. It's the rubies and senior rubies. They're the teenagers. They're the ones that, you know, they get a little sassy on the way. It's because it's this process of maturing into leadership. And when you start to really grow into the leader that it takes to become an emerald, you become more independent. And you start questioning your upline systems and their ways and how they did it. And you criticize them. And it's their fault that you fell short, right? No, it's never their fault. It's always your fault. If the ship goes down, it's always the captain's fault. And if you ever find yourself blaming other people for your disaster, your failure, your whatever, you need to turn that finger back around at yourself. It's always your fault, no matter what. It's always your fault, right? And your brain's going to always look for validation of like, see, but they think I'm amazing. See, but you know, the company asks me to speak. I have all these enrollments. Why can't they see how amazing I am? Right? Just, that's the ego. Just release it. It's fine. Just release it. It's all good. It's there. It's always going to be there, right? Okay. So all of that is the mindset piece. It's very, very important that you put the lid on the Sharpie, which is your brain. Your brain is a toddler with a Sharpie. To get to emerald in the safest way, we need to put the lid on when we notice we're drawing all over the place with the Sharpie, right? This is when we're like having an emotional roller coaster where we're messaging our upline and we're like, oh my gosh, I'm never going to make it. I should just quit now. Right? It's all the drama. Am I the drama? I can't be the drama. You're totally the drama. It's only you. You're the only problem. You're the only problem as to why you're not emerald. You're also the solution. It's the best news ever. Okay. And it's what you're thinking now versus what you're thinking when you're an emerald. That's a difference between who you are then and now. And I'm going to draw this picture and then we're going to get into some mapping. I didn't even ask. How long are you planning on me? Because I prepared an hour, but was I off on that? Was this supposed to be
keep going, Emily.
Okay, we're fine. Okay, good. Perfect. So glad. Okay. This is you. Oh, I need to use my green pen because this is for emeralds. This is emerald view. Do I have a red one? Yes. Okay, this is senior ruby you. What's the difference between you and you? Just your thoughts and what you're thinking. So guess what? We need to think like her now to get to here. And the whole way from here to here are going to be little steps. Okay. So you are going to come here and you're going to be like, oh, someone quit. 2 steps forward, 1 step back. No. This is a mistake. And there's never a mistake that doesn't move us forward. Ever, ever, ever. Mistakes always move us forward. So here's a mistake you made. Guess what? Are you 1 step closer to emerald or 1 step behind? You're 1 step forward. Here, someone joins your team and they post and they go silver. So exciting. And what are you thinking when they do that? Someone unmute yourself and tell me what you're thinking. Someone posts, someone orders and they post and they go silver. What are your thoughts?
My thought is senior silver's next.
Senior silver's next. What are you thinking about your business?
And
your ability?
I did it. I'm capable.
Yeah, one of the comments I just said is, we're doing this. I'm capable.
It's possible.
What are you thinking? It's possible. Okay, what else are you thinking?
The system works.
The system works. What else?
Emily says, oh crap, what do I do now? I'm with you on that.
And what's the answer to that question, Emily? Because anytime you ask your brain a question, it will always answer itself with an answer. You have all the wisdom. You have all the answers. What is it? When you say, what do you do now? What's the answer, Emily?
I hope this is right, but I always tell people, go watch a video, go watch a training on the next step.
Yeah. It's like, we know what to do. We'll go find the answers that we need. Right? We'll find the answers. We'll find the way. We'll find the way. Right? I want everyone on this call right now to write down these 5 thoughts. Because these are the thoughts that you're choosing when you are succeeding. These are the thoughts that the emerald version of you is thinking on the daily. And that's why she is emerald. Chase, Ellie, close my door, will you? Thank you. These are the thoughts that are creating your success. Your brain thinks, do not come in here. That's fine. Go give it to dad. Close the door. Dad's not here. I don't know what to tell you. Okay. So these are the thoughts that are creating your success. Your brain thinks that it's the girl that joined and posted and went silver that's creating your success, but that's all a lie. It's a made up story. This is what created your success right here, what you were thinking. What you think is your result. If you think I'm behind, your result is I don't show up. When you think I'm not a good leader, what your result is I don't fulfill my potential. Whatever you're thinking, you will create. If you're thinking a negative, and what you think is just your belief about yourself and the world around you. So when you have a mistake, here, someone quits, and you think, when someone quits, what are some things you've thought before when someone has quit? Tell me some thoughts that you've had.
That I failed them.
You've failed them? Okay, what else?
I didn't have a strong enough relationship with him.
Kimmy, I've heard you say this before, that you overwhelmed them.
Yep. Gave them too much information, or my next thought is, oh crap, now I have to go and take care of all of their people like they're my level ones.
Okay. So what was the one that you said before that? What was the one somebody said?
I
You
overwhelmed
Not
them.
good enough relationship.
overwhelmed them.
Oh,
The reason that your brain does this when a problem happens, when a mistake happens, is because it's trying to find blame as quickly as possible. And it wants to seek evidence that it is right, even if it's wrong. Your brain wants to be right more than it wants to be wrong. So here, when you're like, someone quit, and you make it all about you and how you're a bad leader and you didn't have the right connection and you didn't do it right, and now you're going to have to take care of their people. You're making it all about you. They just wanted to get $400 back for their kitchen remodel. And you've created these thoughts. You've picked up these thoughts here for yourself. And you want to know what the results are? If we put this in the model, if you don't know what I'm talking about, the model is a tool that I have used to change my life over the last 3 years. It will solve any problem in your life. It's circumstance, thought, feeling, action, results. Have you heard my work on this? Does anyone not know what I'm talking about? Tell me if you haven't. Everybody, yes? Yes? You're going to have to speak up if you don't. Everything, right? Circumstance, thought, feeling. We have a circumstance, then we have a thought about it. Then that creates a feeling inside of our body. That feeling is where we take action from. Our actions are what drive our results. Our brain, because we're human and we have that prefrontal cortex, it believes that the circumstance is the problem. The person joining your team here that signed up, went silver, that you think that person is creating all these thoughts. And when this person canceled, you think that person canceling is creating all these thoughts. But that's totally wrong. In both situations, you picked up these thoughts. And when you pick up this thought, I failed them, your result is I fail myself. Because you're going to have an emotion. When you think I failed them, you're going to have an emotion that's like fear or worthlessness or insecurity. And from that emotion, you're going to avoid doing a Facebook Live. You're going to avoid asking people to post. You're going to avoid coming to the team calls. You're going to avoid using the system next time. You're going to avoid asking anyone to post ever again. Right? And then your result is I fail myself. When we choose thoughts like this, these are a choice and they screw up our results because they make us act in a way that is not our true selves. I didn't have a strong enough relationship. Our result with that is I don't trust me. Right? Here, I've overwhelmed them. I overwhelm myself is your result with that every time. Right? Here, these thoughts. You can pick these thoughts when someone quits. Why can't you pick these thoughts when someone quits? Why can't we? We can. We can totally pick these thoughts. We can pick, I want you to think of your thoughts as like keys to a car, and you have a basket full of keys. You have like 20 cars in your driveway. You're super rich. And you have all these cars in your driveway. And you're like, which car do I want to drive today? Oh, I want to drive the one where I think I've failed them all day. Oh, perfect. Great. Okay, so my result, I'm going to get, when I'm driving my car to the house of I fail me. Okay, let's go. Come on, let's get in the car. Let's go. Let's everyone drive together. Yeah, and you're like, why can't I get to Emerald? I know what to do and I'm not doing it. Why not? Because your thoughts. That's the only reason. So we got to think like her now. I want you to ask yourself, what would Emerald Brittany do with the person that just quit? What does Emerald Brittany want to think about this person quitting? Remember, you have 1,500 points in your back office. You're an Emerald. You're going to Hawaii with us. You have Alexis. This person, this version of Brittany, she has someone quit. What is she going to choose to think? Is she going to think I've failed them? What is this higher version of yourself going to choose to think about yourself? I can't hear you because you're muted.
That I'm still capable,
Yeah.
but it's not my fault.
I'm capable. The thought that I choose most frequently when someone quits is, I know I did everything right. I can't control humans. Bummer. Wasn't right for her right now. Right? It's putting the lid on the pen. It's not that we have to go around thinking positive thoughts all the time either. That's not what I'm saying. Right? You're going to have 50% negative and 50% positive, no matter how incredible you are. There is no such thing as perfect. You will not be perfect. Right? It's just noticing that when we do this, we say to ourselves, oh, good to know, brain. Thanks for letting me know. When I think I've failed them, okay, we're on the I'd failed them bike, or we're in the I'd failed them car. Let's drive it to the I fail myself. Okay, good to know. This is what we're doing today. Perfect. Do we want this? Is this what we want? We don't? What do we do when we think we failed? Well, we avoid everything and we don't do the things that we know we need to do. We don't use the system that our leaders are telling us to use. So do we want to keep getting this result of failing ourselves? No? Okay, what do we want to believe? We want to believe that we can get to Emerald. We want to believe that developing emeralds is easy. How can we believe that this is true? What else is true? What can we believe? Well, we can believe that getting to Emerald is just signing people up and helping them get one. Isn't it? It's just one at a time. How do we get to Emerald? One at a time. How do we get someone to sign up? Well, we do a Facebook Live. We send 3 messages a day. We follow up. We invite people that like their products to do a post. And they might tell us no. They might quit when we ask. But our protocol is that we decide with our prefrontal cortex ahead of time is we ask everyone to post. And whether they say yes or no doesn't mean anything about our skill because I'm capable. Right? When you trust your ability and you have belief in yourself, rejection sort of goes away. Like when someone quits on me now versus when they quit on me when I didn't trust myself and I didn't trust our products and I didn't trust my systems, totally different. Now I'm like, oh, I mean, I know I did everything right. Something's wrong with her. That's where my thoughts go now. But I used to go here when I was at Ruby and Senior Ruby. Gosh, when I was a brand new diamond, they went here. Which car do you want to drive? Where do you want to end up? Right? So noticing when we're thinking these things, being aware of them, having compassion for ourselves that we're choosing them, that we are the problem. Good news, it's just sentences in our brain that are making us feel insecure and like a failure today. Best news ever. Good thing it's not her fault because I can't control her that quit. If she was the problem, we'd be in trouble. The good news is you're the problem. We can fix all your thoughts. We just have to be curious about them and aware of them, okay? So this piece is just as important of the strategy of how to get to Emerald. So now I'm going to give you the how-to and the nitty-gritty. You've probably seen my video, how to get to Emerald in 30 to 60 days. The month before I hit Emerald, I had 822 points. I hit Emerald 30 days later with 15 points. My Emerald that she and I just built her team in 90 days to Emerald. On December 31st, she had 1,260 points. 30 days later, 14 points. It's very realistic to grow by 250 points every single month. If you want to grow by 250 points, my favorite way to do that is add 100 people. Now, some of you are like, I've never done more than 20. My team's never done more than 35. Where does that go in the model of circumstance, thought, feeling, action, result?
Thought.
In a thought line. Exactly. Just because you haven't done it before doesn't mean you can't do it. Right? Thomas Edison, light bulb, never been done before. Good thing he didn't think it can't be done. Or I wouldn't have good lighting in my room right now. We'd still be lighting candles all over the place, burning our houses down, right? It's just, I'm about to do it for the first time ever. It's possible that I'm about to do it for the first time ever. Do you like that thought? Can you believe that it's true? It's possible that I'm about to do it for the first time ever, right? Now, we can grow by 250 points by adding 100 people. You're like, Emily, that's supposed to be 500 points. I know you're probably going to lose between 20 and 50 people. Right? And if we don't, awesome. So glad. Flew past Emerald, right? But if we want to plan to end at 100 enrollments, and that's our goal, we get to put it in the result line. 100 enrollments. What actions, I never give myself enough room. What actions are we going to need to take every day to get 100 enrollments? We're going to wait till like the 22nd of the month, right? And then we're going to work. We might start like reaching out and posting then. Oh, that doesn't work. What actions are we going to need to take every single day to get 100 enrollments in 1 month? Tell me the exact actions.
IPA, daily IPA.
What does that mean to someone who doesn't know what that means?
Start new conversations.
Okay. How many?
3 to 5 a day.
Okay. 3 to 5 new reach outs every day. Are we taking the weekends off? You're not allowed to work on Sundays. I don't care what your upline says. We're taking 1 day of rest. Because remember, your success does not require you to arrive exhausted. I have doubled my income taking Sundays off. Maybe you take Saturdays off and you work Sundays. I would not recommend taking a weekday off at your level. You can earn that later when you are a solid diamond. I take Wednesdays off and Saturdays and Sundays and all holidays. And sometimes a Tuesday. It's earned. You will earn it. It will come. Right? Okay. So we need 3 to 5 new reach outs every day. And we're going to pick 1 day for rest. And you're going to wrestle with that. It's fine. Do what you need to. Come get coached on it. I'll help you. Tell me, what else do I need to do besides this?
Follow up.
Follow up with who?
With everyone who has been interested in Plexus. So 3 to 5 follow-ups.
Okay. And our brain's going to want to go to black and white thinking here. It's going to want to be like, but we don't have 3 to 5 every day. There's not enough for 3 to 5. We shouldn't even do it. We'll avoid doing it altogether. So when you start to hear those things come up in your brain, be like, it's fine. We're just going to go find one right now. We'll get there. Put the lid on the Sharpie, right? You want to talk to your brain like a toddler. It's fine. We're just going to go find one. It's fine. We're totally going to get there. It's all good. Settle down, brain. It's fine. We're just going to start. It's fine, right? Okay. What else are we going to need to do? This is it. This is all I have to do to get to Emerald.
Post every day, probably multiple times a day to bring in the leads.
We're going to need to post every day. This means we're posting about our personal life. We're posting about our supplements. You can post about Plexus every single day in your stories. If you are in your stories every single day, like if you're in your story, like you guys, if you follow me on social media, I blow my stories up all the time, right? Like, it's like, can you stop? No, I can't. I don't even remember what I did this morning. So I have to tell you what I'm doing this afternoon. And then I watch my story at the end of the day and I'm like, oh yeah, look, I did all that today. That's fun. Right? So the more you're in your stories, the more you can post about your products. So just go to town with your stories. It's so fun. I love my stories. Okay. What about Facebook Lives? Nobody's said that quite yet. Why? That's always my first answer.
Because they're scary.
Where does that go in the model?
Thoughts.
Thought. Yeah. Well, we'll save that for another day. Okay. Facebook Live goes here. What else?
Share with your team what you're doing by sharing messages you've sent, follow-ups you've sent, videos that you've sent, videos you've watched.
Show team what you're doing all day long. When you're in a message and someone is writing back to you and you are talking to them, screenshot that and put it in your chats. Even if you don't like how it's going. Like I'll put messages in there and I'll be like, this did not turn out right. This is what I said. This is what I was wanting it to say. This is what I would do differently next time. The more you can model for your team, the better. This is why emeralds are so easy. You just model for them and then they do it. If they knew what to do, they'd be doing it. I promise you. They're not doing it because they don't know what to do. You know what to do. These things. It's when you are lazy in this that we have problems. And the only reason you're lazy in this is because you're having thoughts like, that's scary. People might not like me. What if I overwhelm them? I might overwhelm them. And then you have this weird feeling of like fear, insecurity, exhaustion, tired. And then your actions are not this. You avoid these things. And then your result is not 100 enrollments, right? Other things that you need to be doing every single day is you need to be asking people to let you write a post that are loving their products. Once a week at your level, you need to be getting on a Zoom or getting next to someone on your team that's trying to build a business. You have someone, it's a gold, it's a senior gold, it's a bunch of senior silvers. At your level, you have a couple people and you need to get next to them either on Zoom or side by side. And I want you to go into the back office and I want you to click on points and rank. And then I want you to click on subscription twice. And you're going to sit with your person either on Zoom or in person, and you're going to go line by line down all of their level ones. Tell me about Stacy. Does she like her products? Oh, she does? Okay, let me give you Stacy's phone number. We're going to text her right now. Hey, Stacy, I know how much you love your products and how much it's helped you. Would you be willing to let me write a post about what the products have done for you and post it in your main feed for me? And they're like, oh, she probably won't. That's fine. We're just going to text her. Are you ready? Do you want her phone number right now? Okay, here you go. And I'm like literally typing it for them and sending it to them. I'm like, copy and paste that to Stacy. Let me know when you're ready for her number. For a senior Ruby, this can take between 2 and 3 hours. It will bring you workers out of your eyeballs, out of every orifice of your body. Senior Rubies to Emerald are so easy. Senior Golds to Ruby are so easy. You just have to do this with them. Go through their back office, even your best people that are so on the ball. Oh my gosh, let's get together. This is going to be so fun. We're going to go through your back office and we are going to find a couple of workers for you today, tomorrow, whatever you're going to set up. Line by line, go through and talk it out. Some other messages, and I'm going to send these to Jordan so that she can share them with all of you. But other messages that I want you to, hold on, I got to find the title of it. Oh dear Lord, where is it? Hold on, it's right here. We just did them. Anytime I do this with someone on my team, they go forward 250 to 500 points within the next 90 days. Sometimes more than that. In fact, literally all day today, I was like, I need to make a video about that. It works every time. I should make a video about it. Okay, here are the other messages. I like to call this starting little fires everywhere. That's the system. That's the name for it. Have you done the start little fire everywhere system? That's what I'm going to ask you when you tell me you're not at Emerald yet. I'm going to be like, did you do the little fire everywhere thing? And you'll know what I'm talking about, right? Hey, Chad, I know how much you loved your products and know you had to pause because of your job situation. You had such amazing results. I was thinking I could write a post for you. And if you're willing to post it, anyone that needs info, I could answer all of their questions like before. Maybe we could try again, especially with the expo this weekend. Maybe get some new interest for you. What do you think? So this is for someone that joined, posted because they lost 20 pounds in 30 days and didn't get any signups and they quit because of money. So we're reaching back out to them, right? Next one. Hey girl, how was Mexico? You still as jet lagged as I am? I don't know if you know this, but you have a free product sitting in your Plexus account that we can add to your next order. Oh, this was just like because I asked her about her. Sometimes when you ask people about everyone in their organization, they're like, oh yeah, she's like just sort of getting started, but like her second order just processed and I don't really know how she's doing, right? So sometimes we send messages like this where, are you remembering to take everything? How are you feeling? What are you loving? Give me the update, right? Here's another one. Hey, Teresa, we just got home from our honeymoon and I'm just doing some catch up. Wanted to let you know you have a free product on your account that we can attach to your next order. What are you loving the most? Are you remembering to take everything every day? The most important part of that whole message was when we asked her, what are you loving the most? Because she's going to come back and she's going to be like, pooping. And I've lost 3 pounds. And what are you going to say next to her? Oh my gosh, could I write a post for you about your results and you post it in your main feed? This is amazing. And they're going to say yes or no. If they say no, you're like, no problem. I'm so happy for you. This is so amazing.
Hey, Em, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
So when you ask them those questions, like, hey, can I write up a post for you? Do you at that point mention like, I'd love for you to get the referral bonus? Not at all. Okay.
Nope, I don't. For some people, I will start talking about the money. Like you'll see I'm going to read you a couple more. I don't think we mentioned money in any of these posts. When I'm talking to people, like when I'm first signing them up, I talk about the money every single time. But when I'm going back in and I'm digging for gold, I typically am just trying to get a bite of one action out of them. And if I throw in too much information, what do humans do? They push away, right? If I'm like, yeah, and you get the bonus and you did it, and they're like, oh, I don't really want the money. I'm fine, but thanks. But if I'm just saying, hey, can I write a post for you and you'll put it up in your feed? They're like, yeah, sure. I got time, right? Because it's when they post that then I have my foot in the door to get 1 and then 2 and then 3. And when they get the 1, then I'm like, oh my gosh, you got 1. You just made $40. If you get 2 more people, you're going to make $355 this month. What do you think? And then I've also had like 15 Silver Star earners on my team that I have personally done. I do this. It just works. It just works. It just works. This is why emeralds are so easy. This is why rank ups and momentum and duplication are so easy, right? It's the little fire everywhere thing where we remember what we do. We go to points and rank, we click subscription twice, and we talk. I do it with one person at a time. Don't try to be efficient. The lower brain's going to want to take over, especially diamonds. It's going to want to take over and say, let's get the whole team on a call and do it all together. No. One-on-one. Pick one person a week, one person a week, one person a week, one person a week. Work with one person. Say, tell me about this person. 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 Help them write a message for every single person. If they're like, oh yeah, that person, she's like going through bad die-off, like she's not feeling good. This is a great opportunity for her to start taking the E's. Let's send her a message and see, does she have any perks points? Can we attach the E's to her order? Can we gift her an E's? Like, what are we going to do? Like, talk about it together as a team about what's going to help this person, right? I know it takes time. You got plenty of time, right? This is going to make free time for you later when you have a new emerald on your team. Then you don't have to take your time. They're going to take their time. They're going to do this with their people at that point. You're going to be diamond. Okay. Next message. Hey, Karen, it's Chelsea. I know how much you love what the products have done for you. I was wondering if I wrote a post for you, if you'd be willing to share it. It would sound something like, I started this new gut health stuff and it totally changed my sleep. I wasn't going to say anything, but I know there are more of you out there silently suffering like I was. I'm so happy I'm sleeping so well now. Would you be willing to post something like that? Next message. Hi, Anne. I'm just checking in with you. How are you doing today? Hopefully better than last week. We are finally home and settled from our honeymoon. So just checking in, wondering if I can fix your credit card for you, because she had to decline, right? Every problem in your back office is just an obstacle for you to figure out to get you from here to here, to here, to here, to here. So just sit down and be like, let's do it. Let's figure this one out. What can we say? What can we do? And let the brain go, I don't know. And then say, let's just take a guess. Let's take a guess. What could we do? What could we do? Right? The person that I did this with last Wednesday has 2 new silvers on her team this week, and they're both running now for gold. I took 2 hours of my time to sit and go through a ruby on my team's back office. And now she has all the belief in the world. She's thinking these thoughts now. She was thinking these thoughts 2 weeks ago.
And Emily, on that call, you help them with those messages right then and there. And
I write them all.
So
Read
that's
it.
why
Pick them off one at
it's
a time.
taking that amount of time, because
Yeah.
you are just getting it done right then and there.
Yeah. 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 We are doing it together. We're in the trenches together, and I'm messaging it. I am using my skill, right, to write the message. If you're like, well, I don't have your skill is plenty. Your team needs exactly you. They don't need me. They need you exactly how you are. And you're going to send the messages. And the reason why my skill is where my skill is at is because I sent messages when my skill was where you are at. So send the messages. They're going to be good enough, and tweak them as you go. Like you'll be like, ooh, that one got a good response. Let's hit that one again. We'll do that one. That's why I save them. I'm like, Chelsea, all the messages we sent, just send them to me in text, because those were good. I like them. Right. And then there's one in here that I didn't read to you where it was like, also tell me about Paige. Is she seeing results, loving her products? Like, because sometimes as you're going down through their level ones, right? Because you're ordering by subscription. So you're looking at people who have their subscriptions on. It's low hanging fruit, right? And if their subscriptions are on or pushed out, we just want to have a conversation with them, starting a little fire everywhere, right? Fire, 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 fire. And then we're going to fan the ones that let us write a post. And then we're going to fan them even more when they post. And we're going to watch that post like a newborn baby in the NICU. And we're going to be like, oh, did you message her? I see so-and-so commented. Like that comment, reply, I'll message you, and say this to them. Right? And we teach them to say, you know, oh, what interests you the most about this? Oh, I just read a story about this. Let me go grab it. Go to your team page, grab that story that validates whatever problem they're having, send it. Do you relate to this? Yes, I do. Oh, do you want to see what products they took? Yes, I do. Picture of the variety pack or whatever pack this team wants you to sell. Doesn't matter. Pick a pack, any pack. I picked the variety pack. These are the prices for it. This is what it is for just the 4 things, triplex and ease. Again, use your system, whatever your people tell you to sell that. I do variety pack and then triplex and ease as the secondary, right? And then you get that person to silver under them. And then you got a new runner, my friend, because then you're like, you just made $355. Oh my gosh, just 7 more and you'll make another $545. What do you think? And they're like, I think that'd be amazing. Or they're like, it's fine. Go start another fire. There's endless work for you. Endless. And because you tell yourself, I don't know what to do, you shut all your creativity down. And that's when you sit there and you're like, I don't know what to do. I'm never going to get to emerald. Start little fires everywhere tool. That's how you get to emerald. And if it doesn't work with one person, next week, you're getting together with someone else. I like one a week. Because if I start doing more than that, then I start hating my life. I'm like, this sucks. I don't like doing this. Right. But once a week, I'm like, this is kind of fun. I feel like I'm making progress. Right. And then I'm posting, I'm sending reach outs, I'm following up, I'm showing it to my team in my chats. And I'm finding the people that I'm like, ooh, maybe that one would get on the Zoom with me. Ooh, maybe I could go over to her house. Hey, are you free on Thursday? From like 12 to 3, I'll bring snacks. It'll be so fun. We'll like get some workers going on your team. And if they say no, that's not your person, right? You got to find someone else. And when the brain's like, I don't know, be like, let's take a guess. If you hear yourself say, I don't know, you've given yourself permission to shut off all your creativity. You're so smart. This is so easy. Now you know what to do. Right? And after they post, if nothing happens, or they post and they signed up 10 people, either way, in the next 3 to 7 days, you're going to go back to them and say, what do you think about doing like a Facebook Live where you like, you like on a piece of paper, you just write down those 5 things that you used to feel and the 5 things you feel now. And you could just like go on Facebook Live. I do this in a voice message. You just go on Facebook Live and you're like, oh, this is so weird. I never do Facebook Lives. This is so awkward. But I've been taking this stuff for a couple months and it's like, I used to feel da, 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 da. And now I'm like, da, 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 da. Anyway, super weird. I can't even believe I just told you all this, but like, I love this stuff. And I hope you have the courage to like message me or leave a comment because maybe it could help you too. Anyway, that was awkward. Have a great day. Bye. Would you do a live like that for me? Like for yourself, for the people in your life? Would you want to do that? That's how I ask every time. They hardly ever tell me no. They're like, oh, that'll be so, yeah, I guess I could do it. Yeah, I guess. Because then it's a secondary fire, right? You started the fire with asking them if you could make the post. Then regardless of how it turned out, whether they had 10 people that signed up or 0 people comment, 3 to 7 days later, you're going to ask them in that way through voice message that I just said to you, if they'll do a live. And they're going to say yes or no. And then when they do it, you're going to babysit the post. You're going to tell them what to do and say. You're going to help them get 1 and 2 and 3. Maybe you're going to get them to senior, silver, or gold with that point, right?
Would you ever recommend doing like an interview live with them, or do you want them doing it independent?
I don't like it. I don't like it. It's not as effective. Here's why. If they see me with someone else, they're going to scroll by. They're like, they're talking about something that I don't need to know about. But if you are alone, it's vulnerable. It feels authentic. And they're like, what is she saying? Oh my gosh, it's so scary to do a live. She must be saying something important. And I make them do the title of the live as the alternate title. So if they're like talking about how they lost 20 pounds, I make them write in the title, I can't lose weight and I'm so frustrated. That's the title of the live. And they're like, really? I'm like, yes, do it. They will stop. They'll either watch the live and realize what you're saying, or they'll be in the comments saying, oh, girl, me too. And then you message them and you're like, hey, oh my gosh, I saw you comment on my live. And I know you probably don't have time to watch, but I was actually saying how I've lost 20 pounds. Would you want to know how? You guys, this stuff works so well. Emeralds are so easy. It's so easy to get silvers. It's so easy to develop people. This is all you need to know. This is it. Just watch this over and over and over again. This is all you need to know. And then be onto yourself with your thoughts, have awareness, have compassion, be curious about what you think and why you think it. And are you willing to be wrong? Make decisions from your emerald self. What would she do in this situation? and go do that. Just keep trying, right? Get yourself to do it. Get one person to do it every week. Get yourself to do it. Get one person to do it. Anything you're doing, get someone else to do it every week. I promise you're going to be emerald. You're going to be diamond. This is so easy. Did that hit everything that you wanted me to talk about? I know it probably wasn't what like you thought I was going to do, but it's so much better. I promise. Better.
Yes, it was so good. And I'm sorry, I'm driving now. But I think just the fact that you just broke it down is, it just opens up so much in my brain to just, okay, this is the stuff that works. This is what got you to the gold, and then your gold, keep doing it. So anyway.
And then get someone else, to do it once a week. Just get one person to do it once a week. It's so easy.
I think something that I took away from this too goes back to all of us, Jules. We read the 21 irrefutable laws of leadership, and we talked on the momentum factor last week on our Jewel call. And one of the things that John Maxwell says is momentum is starting with the leader. And that starts with casting that vision, having that enthusiasm, having that passion and that energy. And I think that that's something that we all have taken away from this. Of Emily has this confidence that this can be done. And she's got this energy and this excitement and positivity. And it's not a fake positivity. She believes it. And I think that that is where we as leaders need to constantly remind ourselves, like, we are the creators of this, and how we respond is going to trickle down. And I love what you said at the very beginning of success is all about consistency, or success loves consistency. So we've all got tons of notes of pages. So thank you so much for this. And then Kate shared in the chat Emily's February focused video where she talks on this as well. I know all of our teams are just eating this up, loving this. Thank you so much for taking an hour and 15 minutes out of your day right before your big fun retreat. Thank you for coming and pouring into us. We love you, we respect you, we admire you, and are very, very grateful for you pouring into us.
Thanks for having me, you guys. I'm so excited to watch you pop up like jewels all over the place.
Thank you guys, Rubies and Senior Rubies. We will see you the third Thursday of the month. Thank you guys all for being on here. Bye, you all. Bye.